And welcome back to the Hot Lap. We are talking the BTCC Silverstone preview. Yeah, the penultimate weekend for the British Touring Car Championship. And boy, oh boy, is that championship cutting up. As I said, we're at the business end with a capital B. So before we talk all business, so to speak, let's have a look at if you're going to Silverstone, and we are going to Silverstone. Whoopsie, I mean. We've got obviously qualifying there. Yes, there is the Rocket F4 Championship, where with the last time I watched, we saw Abby Pullen at Brands Hatch win, the first female to win a Formula 4 race. Amazing. Free practice, obviously, in the morning, but the important one, if you're for the touring car, is this one here. It's going to be qualifying at not 140, my mistake, is qualifying at 15:35, 25 to 4 for the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship. And if you like F1 and the BTCC, it's not going to interrupt, which is good. So let's have a look though for the Sunday. And this is the day this is the day we're going. So the on-track action starts at 9:25 for the F4 Rocket Championship, British Rocket Championship. So be there or be square. At 10 o'clock, we've got the Porsche Carrera Cup. And then the first to the mini challenge. But then 11:30 is the first touring car race of the day, followed by 12:10 the first Porsche. We will be live, I imagine, hopefully from the pit lane for the pit lane walkabout autograph session between 12:55 and 1:20. Cannot wait for that. That's going to be amazing. 1:30 for the Rocket F4 Championship. I imagine that's after the lunch. Well, no, not the lunch break. The lunch break. Is there even a lunch break? They normally have a lunch break there, but there we go. But the next race is going to be at 2:20 for the Quick Fit Touring Car Championship. That's the second round at Silverstone. And then we got the Porsche, the mini challenge. We end at 5:10 for the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship, the last race. And I tell you what, that is going to, this weekend, I imagine, will have massive implications for the Drivers' Championship, which you can see here. If I just scroll that in a tiny bit. There we go. So yeah, we got Jake Hill leading by 9 points from Tom Ingram. Ash Sutton is still very much in it though, on 296, only 20 points behind Jake Hill. And then you've got Colin Turkington, who needs an amazing weekend at Silverstone. I mean, he's going to have to win throughout the 3 races and kind of hope that the titles stumble a bit, but he's still not out of it. Nor is Dan Camish, nor is Josh Cook. Anyone in the top 6 with these 2 weekends to go, 6 rounds to go in total, could potentially still win the title, but it's going to require, Turkington, Camish and Cook to have an amazing Silverstone to be in with a realistic chance. And as we know here, this is the race weekend that has sometimes been the championship killer. Now, in terms of the Silverstone, as we know, it's the 21st to the 22nd of September. And here's the actual track here. We'll have a look at it in a bit as well. Start-finish straight. It's the national circuit. So we race on the old start-finish straight from Woodcote to Copse, being the main straight, and then into Beckett. But we don't do the Beckett's, Maggots, Chapel, etc. We go down the Wellington straight, and then into Brooklands, into Luffield, into Woodcote to do it all again. But don't just rely on the pictures, because we used a Zeta Corsa. We used a Zeta Corsa to drive us around Silverstone in a Alfa Romeo touring car. I mean, I couldn't have said it better. So bear with me while I spool up the Alfa Romeo touring car and track on board. Here we go. So. No, that's not the right one. That's not good, is it? That's winners and losers. Okay, no, my mistake. I'm going mental. Please bear with me while we have these technical issues. That's Donington, but this is going to be, finally we got Silverstone. As you can see, we're in the Alfa Romeo round the corner from Woodcote we go. You need to be fair, Woodcote's so interesting. You've got so many lines in Woodcote, but punching the gas down through the start-finish straight. So many cars side by side. If you're an F1 fan, who could forget Verstappen and Hamilton coming together at Copse? No, Copse is not flat in a touring car, but it is very fast. still in the touring car. So through Copse. Now we are down going towards Beckett's, where once again you've got cars side by side here. So a slight left and then a right foot. It's quite a difficult corner really in a touring car. Bear in mind, you're not completely going through it. You're braking and you're there now down the Wellington Straight, which is probably the best overtaking place for this race. Into Brooklands, we've seen so many cars have accidents. We've seen cars side by side into Brooklands and then into Lufford. What's really interesting here is you get cars side by side. You have whoopsie-daisy accidents, and in Lufford there's so many different lines. You could take a tight line and, you know, fast in, slow out, or slow in, fast out by taking a slightly wider line, punching it again to do it absolutely all over again. I mean, yeah, I love it. This easily is one of my favourite tracks. So it's essentially got 6 corners, 1.85 miles. The first touring car race all the way down in 1959, so before most of us were born. Now, track record 2020, Dan Camish on a 57.3. Jake Hill raced that record in 2022 on a 57.5. And as you know, it's one of the most famous racing circuits in the world. It's got those long straights, a few tight corners as well. And the one sad thing, funnily enough, I think in 2020, yes, the year that happened, they were going to visit Silverstone twice, and they were going to use the international circuit on the second time, which I think would have been absolutely amazing. Sadly, we didn't quite get it, did we? Not good at all. Not good at all. So we'll stop that. But let's talk about the championship contenders, then, shall we? So we have this man here, a certain Mr. Ingram. I think this is the thing. I would not know. I mean, between Tom Ingram, Ash Sutton, and Jake Hill, I've absolutely no idea who is going to win the championship. I think we'll know a lot because they're so close. There's like 10 points in it. But Tom Ingram and Jake Hill have been the on-form people. They have been the people taking the win for both Tom Ingram and Jake Hill. I mean, Jake Hill is seemingly. I don't really want to say that Jake's come from nowhere, but he's having the best season of his life, isn't he? So you can make an argument: is he going to be hungrier than Tom Ingram? Is he going to be taking more risks than Tom? I don't know. And what I love it, we've got definitely a 3-way fight, potentially 4 if Colin can give himself a kick up the bottom, but. We've got 3 different cars. We've got the Hyundai, we've got the BMW, and then we got the Ford. And the Ford that was so dominant in the hands of Ash Sutton this year. It's they've not really done the Red Bull like hit the backward switch. But I can't help but feel that Ash Sutton, for whatever reason, their car is not as dominant as it was before. So it's really going to involve Ash Sutton doing good. Now, Ash Sutton, never ever write him off. Could he be leading the championship after Silverstone? Yes. And I really am sitting on... If I had to guess who's going to have the best weekend, I'm going to go for Tom Ingram. And it's going to be close between, obviously, Jake Hill and Ash Sutton. Now, Colin Turkington... he's fourth. He's fourth in the championship, isn't he? Let me think. He's got like 25. He's like 30, 40-ish. I don't know. My maths is terrible. Points behind. He's along with obviously Dan Camish, who's 3 points behind him, and then Josh Cook, who is like 11 points behind Colin Turkington, and quite a long way off, like over 50. I mean, he's going to have an absolutely amazing weekend. But as you know, when you look at Jake Hill compared to Ash Sutton, it's Jake Hill that's got the six wins, Tom Ingram 3, Ash Sutton only 2, but Colin's got 5. But then he's had complete disastrous weekends with Dan Camish having 1, Josh Cook having 2. So I think it's going to be between Hill, Ingram, and Ash Sutton, the championship. For a second, I don't want to write out completely Colin Turkington, but I think he's going, because he's going to have he's going to have more hybrid than the other 3 going into qualifying. He absolutely needs to get into that quick 6 qualifying session and then be round the top. And he's going to have to take the most risk. But I'd make an argument that he's kind of got the less to lose, because like him, Dan and Josh Cook, he's one of the outsiders for the for the title. So he's going to go in there thinking, yeah, why not? Let's just do it. Yeah. So it's most certainly not going to be a boring weekend. So I'll leave you then. Look at that beautiful man, beautiful man is Ash Sutton. So I leave that with you. That's pretty much our BTCC preview. We're thinking for the title. I'd like to go around the whole field. I think Rob Huff also could have potentially a strong weekend. Sadly, I am very much running out of time. But if you made it to the end, please, if you are not already, give us a subscribe. That would be lovely. Hit that notification button if you don't want to miss a BTCC video. I'm planning to do one more before the actual race weekend if I can. And stay safe. If you're going to Silverstone, let us know in the comments below. I'd love to speak to any of you if you are. And we'll see you soon. At Silverstone, hopefully. If not, watching something. Anyway, I can't wait. BTCC Silverstone.